Honorable Minister, distinguished invited guests, the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Ministry of Information. If you are joining us at home, we are live across the country on GTV. If you are in Western region, you can listen to us on Empire 102.7 FM, also on Radio 360. We are also streaming on Think News Online. If you're on Facebook, you can join us at Ministry of Information Facebook page, and to all other media houses that are picking the feed across the country. This morning, we are honored to receive the Western Regional Minister and Member of Parliament for Takoradi constituency, Honorable Kwabena Daku-Mensah. He is here to provide updates on the state of the Western region. But before I yield the podium to him, let me use the opportunity to acknowledge some dignitaries who joined the powerful delegation of the regional minister to this very important exercise. We have with us this morning the Regional Director of Health Science, Dr. Yao Ofori-Yeboah. Health Services. Oh, okay, then I think there was a typo. Sorry about that. We also have with us the Regional Economic Planning Officer, Mr. Akra Mfojo. Also joining us this morning is the Regional Budget Officer, Mr. Ofosueje. We also have with us the DCE for Mpoho, Honorable Ignatius Asa-Mensah. Okay. We are also joined by the MCE for Second D Takoradi Metro, Honorable Abdul Mumin. We also have with us this morning the MCE for Efia Kwesimintim Municipal, Honorable Kojo. We have with us the MCE for Wasa Amenfi East Municipal, Honorable Frederick Cranche. We are also joined by the aide to the Regional Minister, Mr. Charles Kobina. With us this morning is a planning officer at the RCC, Mr. Ebenezer Haji. We are also joined by the Western Regional Youth Organizer of the NPP, Mr. Benedict Adai. And as I mentioned earlier, we have with us the MP for Takoradi and Western Regional Minister, Honorable Kwabena Daku-Mensah. Oh, and I'm informed that we have the Chief Director of Western Regional RCC with us, Mr. Frederick Ajman. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. So I will now yield the podium to the Honorable Minister for his presentation, and we'll come back to you to take questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Minister. Good morning, Ghana. I'm very happy to be here with you this morning. Special greetings from the people and chiefs of the Western region. We'll be doing our quick presentation to update Ghana on what is going on in the Western region. The presentation will start with an introduction of the region, infrastructure delivery, private sector support activities and special initiatives, implementation of government flagship programs, and then we'll conclude and then we'll have a discussion. The Western region, as you're all aware, is located in the southwestern part of Ghana. And we have a border with Ivory Coast, the Central region, and Western North region. As you are aware, Western region is also the region, it's one of the longest coastlines in Ghana, 192 kilometers of coastline in Ghana. And it is the wettest region in Ghana, and our capital is Sekondi, Takoradi. It's a twin city, and it's the only twin city in Africa. The area of Western region is about 6.13% of Ghana's total land size, and our population is 2,060,585 Ghanaians. Virtually, we are about 6.67% of the population of Ghana. We have 2 universities and 3 other campuses of other universities, i.e. KNUST, GIMPA, and then GTUC. We have 5 nursing training colleges and 1 teacher training college. The districts that we have are 14 with 17 MPs. So you see that we are not that too big nor too small. If you take the region, we have more males than females in the Western region. Our vision is to be a model region of Ghana and a place where all people can participate and engage in the productive assets of the region for wealth creation. And we are doing so on 3 pillars: entrepreneurial governance, enterprise Western region, and mainstreaming the youth throughout the SDGs. So these are the core pillars that we've been working with as a region. The Western region exists to facilitate the overall development of the region by effectively coordinating, monitoring, and evaluating plans and programs of the MMDAs and NGOs in order to improve quality of life of the people. Our core values are professionalism in delivering public service and good institutional or corporate governance structures. In fact, in our region, we take decisions in 5 days. So if you want any place in Ghana to do business or do anything, come to Western region and we will take our decision in 5 days because we have our core values and we know what we want to do for the people of Ghana. So I'll look at a few things very soon. So I'll look at first infrastructure delivery. I think these are the areas that we said we'll start with. Feeder roads. If you are looking at proportion of roads that are in good condition, from 2017 and 2022, you realize that feeder roads have improved a lot, from 24% to 32%. When it comes to urban roads, that has also improved from 19.6% to 26%. Where we are not doing very well is the highways. And I believe that when you hear some of the stories coming from our region, these are the areas that we are currently working on. And when we get to where we are doing new projects, you see these ones, these challenges being tackled in those areas. So I don't like to bore you with a lot of statistics, but what I want to tell you is that so far, government have delivered over 1,959 kilometers of road contracts that contractors are currently working on them. And out of that, over 250 kilometers have been delivered by the contractors. So you realize that in my last tour, I was asking my chiefs to start putting the pressure on the contractors because government have done its part of the deal. So we'll go through a few of the roads that you might be aware of so that we can look at them. So selected urban roads interventions. I'm only giving you a few ones that we want you to capture as we go along. If you take the Sino-Hydro projects, we benefited from one of the interchanges, the 3-tier interchange, which is now 58% complete. We are hoping that by July, the whole interchange will be completed for use by the public. If you take the emergency upgrading of selected arterial roads and collateral roads in 5 towns within the gas enclave, and we are talking about Jomoro and Alembele, we are about 95% completed. And then when it comes to the Kwesimintim dual carriage or highway, that is 100% completed. That's the 8.5 kilometer done by Jasmore. We also have the new project that is currently ongoing between Chakrade and Sekendi, the dual carriage from the harbour to Sekendi. In fact, in front of the Western Regional Coordinating Council, we are going to have a double road, and that have started in earnest. I'll look at highway. If you take highway, you all know the popular Takwa, Ahwetiaso, Bogoso Junction Road. It's 66.34% complete. But because of the new project that we've started from Aguna Kwanta to Takwa, that project has been taken over by the new contractors, which is Ramgo, and they are currently working on it. If you take Ahanta West, we also have the regoverning of the Sanko Cape 3 Point Road, which is 28% 100% completed, and GPHA is funding that project on behalf of government. If you were to take the reconstruction of Takwa Damine Road, which is 60 kilometers, this was funded by Goldfields because it was part of the investment agreement, and that is 100% completed. On the take a Hunter West, the main Aguna Kwanta Takwa Trunk Road, that is 18% completed, and you realize that the contractors are seriously working on that project, and they are going to work within time because they are international contractors that are coming up. Let's take a few investments also in the feeder road sector. If we take sports improvement, rehabilitation, upgrade, and bituminous surfacing, we've already awarded about 68 contracts with length of about 1,104 kilometers, and we've barely done about 152. You know the issue with a lot of contractors, some of them complain of non-payment, which I've said is not an excuse, because they all took their contract with the backing of their banks, and therefore we expect them to do the work as quickly as possible. So we'll take a few of the selected completed roads from January 2017 to October 2022. We have the bituminous surface dressing of Alabukazo Ekwe Tikobu number 1 phase 1, and that was completed in 2019. We have the bituminous surfacing of Tikobu number 1 Elenda Waf feeder roads, which was completed in 2019 as well. And the bituminous surfacing or dressing of Alabukazo Ekwe Tikobu number 1 phase 2, which was completed in 2020. Rehabilitation of the Amia Tio Appeal Chrome and other feeder roads, which was also completed in 2021. And then the Eyinase Kwesi Chrome feeder road, which was completed in 2022. So, like I made mention of the some of the major projects, the Kwame Nkrumah or PTC interchange, which is 58% complete. You can see the bridge of the interchange being shown on your screen, and this is basically in the center of Takrady. You can also look at the dualization of the Park Grant Road, which is currently ongoing, and they are laying a few rubber sheets along the new dualized area around the Ifekwanta Hospital. So these are some of the projects, and this one is the Daman Road, which was completed in Aboso to Damai. And then we have the Awetiaso Bogoso Junction Road, the Takwa Road. So if we start from Awetiaso all the way to Hilda Hotel Junction, this is some of the projects that has been completed by the Highway Department. And then the current reconstruction that is currently going on the Agunan Kwanta to the Takwa Road, the 60 kilometer, which is currently ongoing, 18% has been completed. If you look at the shoulders of the road, they've been done. And this one is the road that leads to President Nkrumah's hometown, that is in Nkrofo. The asphalting has been completed. Is the bridge that is being constructed. That's why you can see a little bit of clay. But from Eziama to Nkrofo, that road has been tarred with asphalt. So that's a 30 kilometer. Half of the road itself has been completed. It's just the bridge that is being done. And we also have the asphalting of the Aseke to Window Road, which is in the Efia Kwesimintim constituency, and has been completed. We are trying to get additional contract to extend the road in there. We also have the rehabilitation of the Wamko area, which is in Ifiekuma new site area. That has also been done and also been asphalted. Rail line. Within the last 6 years, the Kojo Krom Manso section of the rail line, which is 22 kilometers, have been completed. And we are currently doing the 78-kilometer rail line from Manso to Wene Valley. And in the next 6 months, the construction of Manso to Insuta Takwa in the Takwa and Soye municipality will be completed. This is a strategic arrangement to ensure that whilst the line is being taken to Prisia Wene Valley, we can start making money on the Takrady to the Insuta line, which is expected to be giving Ghana about $60 million a year. So we expect that within the next 3 years that the whole project of 78 will be completed, would have been taking part of our money to pay the loans that we have used, the 500 million loan that has been used in developing this particular goose line, as we call it. And this is the standard gauge from Manson. The initial part started from Kojokrom to Manson, and now from Manson we'll do Insuta, and then from Insuta we'll do from Insuta to Pristia, Wone Valley. So this is a very huge investment that will bring a lot of resource and resources to the Western region. Under the Danko Akufo-Addo, we've been able to do 4 ports in the Western region. This is very unprecedented. You all know that when we got our own Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, it did for us the secondary naval base. You know that the white people also in 1928 also did the Takoradi port. Under another Danko Akufo-Addo, we've done another port inside the Takoradi Harbour, which is the Atlantic Port Service with private sector Ebistek. It's like the MPS that we have in Tema. So we have a port like that. We also have another port, a fishing port in Diskov. We also have another fishing port in Axim. And then we are now developing what we call the forward operating base, like the naval base, another naval base at Ezilebo, close to our oil fields. And this forward operating base is basically like a city, which will accommodate a minimum of 2,000 people. That is the armed forces. Apart from that, the civilian population will be added and definitely might go to about 5,000 to 10,000. So we are virtually creating a new city here. So if you take the port infrastructure that has been done for us in the Western region, we are talking about 4 ports in one region. And as I speak to you, this is the facilities that are being built, the accommodation facilities that are being built over there. That's about 36% completed. And these are the fishing harbors that we are talking about. As we speak, Axim have been open to the fishermen to use. We are only finishing the other ancillary facilities that we need to complete them. It's about 82% complete. And very soon, when the president comes to the Western region, these ones will be commissioned. Sea defense projects. We've done the Axim Sea Defense. We've done the Amanfukuma Sea Defense. We've done the Abuazi Sea Defense. We've done the Ajwa Sea Defense. And we have also done the Funko Sea Defense. So when we talk about sea defense project, we are talking about 5 sea defense projects that have been done in the Western region to save life and property. Healthcare infrastructure. If you take healthcare infrastructure, we are currently remodeling Efie Nkwanta Hospital into a teaching hospital. And contractors are currently on site and to become a 400-bed hospital. So we believe that in the next 2 years, our people will not be coming to Accra and Tabetan for tertiary care. We'll be able to have that in the Western region. We are also constructing a new regional hospital in Apmenim in Ahanta West. We also have the construction of polyclinic in Bogoso, Pristia, Wone Valley in Bogoso. We have the Elibo polyclinic facility, which also has an infectious disease center attached to it. You know, Elibo is a border town between Ghana and Ivory Coast. So these issues are very dear to us. We also have the Nswayim polyclinic facility, which has also been completed. We also have the Wasa Dunkor facility in Amenfi West, which has also been completed. And we also have the Manson Amenfi, which has also been completed. When it comes to Takoradi, we are also converting a new Takoradi clinic into a polyclinic, and the 60-bed ward, and it's currently being done. We are also upgrading the Empower Health Center, which has also been completed. And then we also have the Agenda 111, the Priority National Health Infrastructure projects that are also ongoing in Western region. Currently, we have the one in Bokro in the Hunter West district. We also have another one in Impoho, and then the construction equipment of the 90-bed Shama District Hospital, which is currently at the substructure stage. If you come to Efie Kwanta, where we call the CDH, we've also constructed the isolation center with the help of GIZ, and this was very important to us, especially during the COVID period, which has been completed and is in use. We are also constructing another treatment center nearby, which is 70% completed. It's also for Efie Kwanta, but the location is different from Efie Kwanta. That's why we have separated them. We are also constructing and finishing up with the 36 flat at the Takoradi Hospital. In fact, it is being completed. It's only left with the external works, the roads, the gardening that is being done. And we believe that very soon myself and the Minister for Health will be commissioning that as well. As you are aware, we are doing other upgrades at the Takoradi Hospital, like the roads and other improvements in some of the walls. We are also doing the construction of the male and female wards at the Apanwa Clinic. These are district level projects that is being supported by the region. And then we are also doing construction of 12 normal health centers across the region. Construction of 27 chip compounds also across the region. 20 of them have been completed already. So you can take a look at the pictures. Okay, please, if you can go a little bit forward. You can go a little bit forward. You see that? Good. Thank you very much. These are some of the polyclinics that they are showing. So go forward. We have the 44-bed capacity one at Bugoso. I think that's what you are showing now. So you can move on. This is the 66-bed. The next one, please move to the next slide. The 60-bed capacity hospital at Bukro. And this one is for the Agenda 111, which is about 30% completed. So let's look at educational infrastructure. Educational infrastructure. As you are aware, when SHS was introduced, we needed also to upgrade some of the schools and fill in some of the infrastructure. We did a total of 47 projects, made up of 18-unit classroom block, 10 12-unit classroom blocks, 10 number 6-unit classroom blocks, 2 number 3-unit science blocks, 16 number single-story dormitory blocks, 4 number 2-story dormitory blocks, 2 number dining halls, and 2 number 6 science laboratories. And we've completed 22 of them, and the 25 are various stages of completion. Some of them can be used. In fact, some of them, we have started using them. But as you know, as the contractors continue to complete them fully, we can also report on them as well. We can also look at funded projects for the basic level. We have the 2-unit modern KG blocks, 15 of them is being constructed across the length and breadth of the region. Basically, almost like every district is getting one. We have the 8 number 3-unit classroom blocks, 6 number 6-unit classroom blocks, and then re-roofing of 7 blocks in total. That brings it to about 36 projects when it comes to the basic level. So in summary, when you put all those projects together, we are talking about 104 projects throughout the length and breadth of the Western region. And this is an upgrade of one of the technical schools, the Charlotte Dolphin Technical School. So you can see that one. And then you can see some of the Get Fund projects. Also, 4 UMATs. We have a lot of them. I'll be dilating on them. And we also have the KECAM dormitory, KECAM Technical Training Institute dormitory as well. Sports infrastructure. When it comes to sports, we're doing a lot of work in the Western region. Currently, the Esipon Stadium is under rehabilitation. We are also working on the sports complex for UMAT. And then we are also working on the Axim Youth Resource Center, which is also a sports complex, and that's also about 90% complete. We have also constructed 13 astroturfs in the Western region. We still need more because people like Memphis West don't have it. and Ahanta West don't have it. But very soon we'll be announcing those ones as part of the measures we are looking at. So the picture there is for the Axim Youth Sports Complex that has the field and also have training areas, gym and other things, counseling centers, shops, and then offices. We can also see the Cyanide AstroTurf also in Takwa. We have some in Sekendi, Escado, Takrade, Ifia, Kwesimintim. So, and then Ekropong in Amenfi East, we still have some AstroTurfs over there. When it comes to governance, I think that's our next slide. Governance. We want to announce that the NDPC reviewed the APR, 2021 APR of MMDS. And the results show that only 4 MMDS in the country submitted excellent report. And out of the 4, 2 of those came from the Western region. Takwa in Swayem and Ahanta West. These are governance issues. Again, when it came to the district league table, or what we call the best districts in the country, the region moved from 4th position in 2020 to 2nd position in 2021, only behind Greater Accra region. So again, 2 of our districts, Takwan, Swayem, and Shama, were there with the best 10 throughout the country. So it shows that something good is happening in the Western region. So we also look at some of the infrastructure that we've done in terms of governance. So you can have the construction of 6 normal police stations and police posts throughout the region. And I've had the privilege of commissioning all of them. We also have the construction of 3 normal magistrate courts across the region. 2 has been completed. It is left with 1 that is ongoing. And very soon they'll be completed. When it comes to police bungalows, we've done 8. And a lot of these projects are done at the assembly level. So it's not only the region that is responding or national that is responding, but also our district assemblies are also doing a very great job in providing for the governance institutions that we have in the region. We have the construction of 12 number magistrate bungalows also across the region. 10 have been completed and 2 ongoing. And construction of 4 number 3-story office complexes. We have the Elembele, Efia Kwesimintim, Shama, and Wasa East. You know, they used to have very dilapidated old structures. And sometimes when citizens even visited them, they didn't know whether they were really assembly offices or not. So we are doing some new ones being funded by the DACF. So this one in particular is the one for Efia Kwesimintim Municipal Assembly, which is 65% complete, and very soon it will be completed for use. When it comes to water, we've had 3 major investments when it comes to water. We have the Sekendi Takrade Water Expansion Project. We also have the Takwa Water Expansion Project. And the Community Water and Sanitation has also brought us 1 project, is 3 in 1. 4 in Poho, Manso, and Wasadunko. These are small town water systems that are coming. So it means that for us in the Western region, we've gotten 3 serious water projects for the Western region. And the details are in the next slide, but I believe that with the explanation, we can follow up with the details. Other key infrastructure that we are getting in Western region is the construction of the operational headquarters of the Ghana National Petroleum Company, and it will be completed in February. In fact, this picture doesn't show you too well, but they've started putting in the cladding and then the glasses, and in the evening, it's something else to behold your eyes. So in February, that project will be completed. And what is so important for us is that this project will bring the operations of GMPC closer to the Western region. As you are aware, the headquarters of GMPC currently is in Tema, but they make all their money from the Western region. So for us, this is very key in bringing the businesses and the jobs also to the Western region. We've also done other things at the regional level to support private sector initiatives. The one is the Ghana Mining Week and Gold Expo. And I believe that some of the good things that have come out of the Mining Week, you all know, is the certification of the Gold Coast Refinery with the Responsible Jewelry Council certificate that makes gold from Ghana to be traded internationally. We also know the gold catcher, which was launched by the president and bought by the Ministry of Mines and Technology. These projects were also adored at the Gold Expo 2020, and then government took it up and it became a national policy. We also have the development of the central market. I mean, those of you who know Takrady know the Takrady Market Circle, the biggest runabout in Ghana. Is now being redeveloped. We also have the Park Grant Award for Business Excellence. You know that Park Grant, and everybody knows him for business. So Western Region has created the Park Grant Award for Business Excellence to reward businessmen and women throughout the length and breadth of our country and to support the growth of and the creation of wealth. We've also established the Western Regional Investment Center at the RCC, where we crystallize business opportunities in the Western Region, because our second pillar is Enterprise Western Region, and these are some of the things that we are doing to support those initiatives. And then we also have our 5 million coconut seedlings for farmers, and this is to draw in private sector funding for the production of coconuts in Western Region. And for those who don't know Western Region, before crude oil came to Western Region, we had our coconut oil, and we've made a lot of money from coconut. So we want to replant them and bring in wealth creation when it comes to the business of coconut. So we've started that one. And then we also recently concluded the development of an application for sanitation improvement we call the e-tankers. Because we want to be the #1 tourism destination in Ghana, and without sanitation, we can never be the #1 tourism destination. In 2019, we beat Ashanti region to become the #2. So our target now is to beat Central region to become the #1 tourism destination. Please, can you move to the next slide so people can see the market circle where we've got into? Yes, so this is a market circle slide. It's costing us 48 million euros, but when you add the interest rate, it comes to about 52. And then, so far, we've done 68 completion. But when it comes to the EPC contract itself, we've done 90%. So for phase 1, this is just phase 1 of the market circuit project, we've done 68% of the project. Good. As I was talking about investments in tourism, we want to be #1 tourism destination. There are key policy issues that we are working on. Our first one is to develop 4 castles and forts that we have in the Western region. Currently, as we speak, we have completed the one with Fort Orange, and in December, we'll be opening Fort Orange for viewing. You know that we also have the best museum in West Africa called the Bisa Abrewa Museum. So for those who have not seen any museum of that like, please come to Western Region. We are only 25 minutes from Accra. For those who want to see the beautiful small town scenery, you can decide to use the bus and do 3 hours. But by air, Western Region is only 25 minutes from Accra. We are also establishing the cruise hub for West Africa. And for this year, we are starting with 3 cruise ships. The first one will dock on 26th of this month, and then the second one will come on the 4th, and the last one will come at the end of December. Next year, we are doing 10 of the cruise ships coming to Western Region, and a lot of them are coming from Europe. We have already booked 13 from now to next year. So those of you who have not experienced cruise, please make sure that you are part of it. Can we go to industrial? Yes, good. You know the Western region continued to be the #1 contributor economically to this country. And currently, as you are aware, we are developing the petroleum hub in the Jomo district in the Western region. Already, I've signed off the land documentation for the EI to be issued by the president. So we have finished our part as a regional coordinating council. And this project will bring to Ghana 680,000 jobs. 680,000 jobs with an output of 60 billion. Initial investment is expected to about 6 billion, and the output is expected to be at 60 billion. As we also speak, there's an expansion of the free zones in the Shama enclave. And that one too, my part of the work as regional coordinating council, we have also signed off the documents for the land. So as far as Western region is concerned, we are looking up to a very booming region going forward. We also have the Petronia City Industrial Enclave in Ahanta West by the private sector, and they are also currently developing their roads and then doing servicing the land for industry to relocate there. So we have 3 major industrial projects that is currently, as I speak to you, is going on in the Western. And these are the things that I want you to be more interested, because these are the things that create wealth. These are the things that create wealth, and we want you to be part of the Western. Please move to the next slide so people can see the Jomro Petroleum Hub. Yeah. So this is what we are trying to do in the Western region. So it's to have things like jetties, storage tanks, refineries, liquefied natural gas facilities, power plants, petrochemical plants, and fertilizer plants. So these are the opportunities that are there. The ancillary infrastructure that people can also put in money is the water treatment plant, waste management center, light to medium industrial areas, security and emergency response, residential areas, and commercial areas. So all these are investment opportunities in the Western region that we believe that when we come to the Western region, you should be able to invest in them. So we use this opportunity to ask you to come one, come all to the Western region. Implementation of government flagship programs. Implementation of government flagship programs. 1D, 1F. Currently, 48 companies have been approved for development, and they've been linked to the banks, CBG, Commercial Bank, Exim Bank, and the rest. But as we speak, 7 are fully operational. And I'd like to tell the beautiful story of Keda Ceramic. Keda Ceramic initially set up as an ordinary factory. But from phase 2, 3, and 4 has been part of the 1D, 1F program. And for every phase, they add a minimum of 1,000 jobs. And they are now waiting for us to come and cut the sort for phase 5. So by the time we finish, we'll have gotten 5,000, minimum 5,000 direct jobs in the Shama enclave. So they are doing very well, and they produce tiles. And they've also been nominated as part of the AFTAC export project. They are part. Currently, as we speak, they export over 70% of their product to Senegal, Ivory Coast, Liberia, and then there's another one, Burkina, yes, and Burkina Faso. We also have the GKV at Eshim, and they produce virgin coconut oil. Like you are aware, coconut is now a superfood, and the best coconut oil that you can get on the market comes from the Western region, and it's in Eshim. We also have the Narrobics at Dumpim in the Wasa East district. They process rubber. This is 3 Ghanaians who have come together to produce both the rubber as a tree and then also process the rubber for export in the country. We also have the HPC Hodiac Plus at Kojokro, and they manufacture paint and glue. We also have the Amenfi Farm Limited at Wasa Ekropon, and they produce starch. from cassava. And they are not even getting even enough to supply the demand. From Nestle to Guinness, they are not even able to meet the demand. Grill phase 2 plant inside Abra. It's not the plant at Apmenim where we are building the new regional hospital. There's another plant in Abra inside the forest. That is also a 1D, 1F project, and it's also fully operational. And they have already employed over 550 people in that area. We also have the Aboesi fish processing plant at Aboesi, and they are also processing fish. We also have 4 other projects that is currently ongoing, and that is the Enable Youth Companies. And these are companies that are established and given to young people to manage and own. And we have 4 of them. We have the Prisia oil processing at Bugoso. We have the processing of cocoa husk for potassium salt as Asenkegwa, and the high quality cassava flour and gari at Peposo and Kran, and the processing of palm oil at Dumpim. All these projects are currently being developed, and the structures have been finished. It's the machinery that some of them are being tuned and some of them are now being installed. Free senior high school. I believe that Western Region is the biggest beneficiary of the free senior high school. If you look at our data, from 13,310 in 2017 to 63,631,000, a whooping 483% increase in enrollment of our children at the free senior high school clearly shows that nobody can beat Western Region when it comes to the benefit of free senior high school. And for us, that is the game changer. This is what will give our children the opportunity to do the things they never imagined in their families. And I believe that education is key in getting anything done, both in wealth creation and also playing our part properly, functionally in society. So we believe that when it comes to free SHS, with all the oil that we produce for Ghana, with all the cocoa we produce for Ghana and the rest, this is one of the biggest benefits the Western Region have gotten from the country, and we are so grateful to the President for initiating free SHS. Planting for food and jobs. I'll quickly go to the data, the maps. Can you go to the graphics? Yes, so that people can have a look at them. When it comes to maize production, in 2017 to 2021, we had moved production from 84,321 to 157,505 metric tons, almost double, because of planting for food and jobs. When it comes to rice production, we had increased from 36,000 to 40,100 and 407. I think that there are 2 issues that we've had that has created this unique problem. One had to do with the supply deficit when it came to fertilizers. That was one major issue. And then capital for the farmers. But it's something that I'll be discussing them when we conclude about some of the strategies that we have put in place to resolve some of these issues. And then also issues to do with land. So these are some of the issues I'll be addressing. When it comes to cassava, Western Region produces over 1 million metric tons of cassava. So we have increased it from 2017 to 2021 from 1,087,000 to 1,431,000, which is about 40% increase in the production of cassava in the Western. And you all know that these are the benefits we get from the inputs we get from the planting for food and jobs. And for the input, so far, 15,911 beneficiaries, made up of 9,274 males and 6,637 females have benefited in the region from planting for food and jobs. I also like us to look at cocoa production. If you look at the data, you can see that Western Region continued to be a number one producer of cocoa. In fact, if you look at the data of about 700,000 metric tons, and we are doing about 444,000, clearly we are doing more than enough for the whole country. We are producing more than 50% of cocoa for the people of Ghana from only one region. And I believe that we need to be applauded for that, for consistently doing it. And then if you also look at palm oil, we are also not doing bad. In fact, we are doing about 35% for this nation. We have other programs like the MAC logistics support that has come to the region. You can see them, the MMDAs, District Agri Officers. When it comes to Nizam pickups that we've benefited, about 14 of them. Toyota Fortuna 1, Toyota Hilux 2, motorbikes 158 for extension officers, Galaxy motorbike 16, and then TM motorbike 15. We have some of our cities that have also on their own been able to raise grants to do some additional projects in the region. And now it has become a common thing that all my district assemblies are now working towards one grant or the other. And I believe that next year when we get the opportunity to come and talk to you, Ghana, we'll be telling our story when it comes to these things. Currently, Sekeni Takrade is doing a $3 million project with the city of Palermo. 3 million euros, 3 million euros with the city of Palermo in Italy. And it's been a very successful program so far. And I think that for that, I'd like to give credit to a few people. The former Ghana ambassador, the late former Mrs. Korte, for the support she's shown in this project. Honorable Abba Yate, former Upper East regional minister. For your information, she's a secondary girl, so for the support she put in. And then my own MC, Chief Muni Issa, for the work they've done in making sure that we are able to achieve these successes. In concluding, I will do observation and then the conclusion at the same time. So in concluding, I would say the Western region continue to remain relatively calm and peaceful. And therefore, you are all invited to invest in the Western region. 2, our key challenge has to do with transport infrastructure and Galamsey, which continue to be a major headache for us. But we put in place mechanisms to fix them. The first one has to do with the contractors that are constructing our roads, because government has done its part of the work of giving the contract. They have also come to the table to bid with the backing of their banks, and therefore they cannot tell us they don't have money to do their work. When it comes to Galamsey, we have a policy, anti-Galamsey policy, that we are currently working on them. Initially, we used to do swoops. Now we've stopped. We are now doing arrests, because that's the only way we can stop people from mining on the river bodies and then in the forest. Currently, as we speak, a lot of our rivers are improving. Our chief executives are now working with their task force along the rivers, and currently a lot of the communities have been engaged on that. So if you take something like the Tano River, for instance, sections of it are improving very quickly, and we are mapping out and chasing those who are hiding deep in the forest. Other issues that we are also currently tackling when it comes to Galamsey is that currently we are also getting our chief executives to be signatories to the mining licenses that are being issued. In fact, the president has agreed with all chief executives in Ghana, and they are now signing part, so they know those who have been given license to mine and those who have not been given licenses to mine. We are also working on making sure that there's responsible sourcing of gold in our communities, so that those who are using child labor, using mercury and the rest, we know that the law will definitely catch up with them, because we are getting our chief executives fully involved in the work that they are doing. As we speak, on the 26th of this month, the river gas will be deployed along the river banks of the rivers in Western Region. And we are doing it one river at a time. We don't want them to be going around just chasing from one place to the other. They are going to be stationary, like police posts along the rivers. And we've chosen 2 rivers in the Western Region for now. The first one is the Ankobra, which traverses Western Region and Western North only, so we can manage it. And then the second one is the Bonsa one. So we are doing the 2. After that, they are training more river guards by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, and we'll be looking at Pra, because the Pra is a very long river. It starts from Western, Central, Ashanti, and then Eastern Region. So we want to do this as a pilot with the river gas, because we did something similar with the Amanzuri, which is in Elembele. And as we speak now, the Amanzuri is very, very clean. And we believe that if you're able to focus on just 2, one big one, which is the Ankobra, and a smaller one, which is the Bonsa, we'll get the results very quickly. And we are hoping that when the full squad of the river gas come in operation, we are sure that by March, I believe in the statement by the Ministry of Lands, by March, we should be able to get all our rivers clean. And I believe that with the stationary river gas, not those that you keep going up and down, we'll have a lot of problems to deal with. The region has a vast investment potential in agriculture, in mining, tourism, oil and gas. So once again, I will invite Ghana and the world to invest in Western Region. The Western Regional Coordinating Council will continue to support and promote investments in these areas for the benefits of its people and of Ghana. And like I always say, we are in November. We have only 6 weeks to Christmas. I wouldn't come to Accra without inviting Ghana to Takrady for our special bronya. Like we always say, Bibi ye dompa, Bibiara oye dompa, on to Takrady 25th New Year war tardy. You are all welcome and you are all invited to Takrady. Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister, that presentation was so beautiful. I wasn't expecting it to end so soon. But I believe you have given us a lot to send out there for people to know that when it comes to Western Region, a lot of things are happening, positive things. Most especially, a lot of communities, especially coastal communities, are really impacted by climate change. I was really excited that you mentioned the government sea defense projects in Axim, Aboaze, Amanfukuma, Ajoa, among others, because you mentioned that Western Region has the longest coastline, and I could only imagine the impact of these tidal waves and other adverse impact from climate change. So to see that government has invested so much in that area is very impressive, and I can only commend you. It is also impressive to note that government has invested in port development, also with the private sector, and you mentioned that 4 ports have been built in the Western Region. The impact, the economic impact of these projects are immeasurable. I believe for those who are within the respective communities or coastal towns would really benefit from, job opportunities, even economic activities within the area, among others. So thank you for that information as well. You also mentioned that a total of 104 educational infrastructure projects have taken place in the Western Region, and a total of 1,959 kilometers of road projects awarded and 250 kilometers delivered. Among others, there is so much that you have said this morning that I don't believe my summary will do justice to your presentation, so I'll leave it there. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll take this opportunity to invite your questions. If you have any question, kindly show by hand. We'll bring the microphone to you. You mention your name, media house, and then proceed to ask your question. Okay, so I have seen 4 hands here. So we'll take them and then the fifth from the back. So we can start from Agnes.
Good afternoon. My name is Agnes. I report for the Chronicle. So, Minister, I know you indicated that you haven't done much when it comes to highway, but I would like to know what you are going to do to fix the Takrady to Agona Nkwanta Road, which is in a very bad state. I'm saying so because that is where I come from, and I know the road very well. And then also, there was a flood at the St. Mary's Junction some months ago. And I'm told that the road has been graded, but the inhabitants are saying that the cause of the flood was due to some of the structures that are located in the area. So would you consider removing these structures so that the flood doesn't happen again? And then also, people want to know when the TTU Aketeche campus is going to be reopened. Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Yeah. Thank you. My name is Arthur Mensah from Ghana News Agency. In fact, I'm quite impressed with the minister's presentation. That's where also I come from Western Region. And I relocated to Accra almost 5 years ago. But the infrastructure that you have mentioned, with pictures, so impressed. But I have a few questions for you. Yes, with the Tier 3 interchange, there are school of thought that even though it's a good project, but if you could extend it to Paipano so that it will reduce traffic there, because people believe that it will pile up traffic at Paipano. So if you can extend that project to Paipano, if you can consider that. Then, Takrady market redevelopment. There are concerns that in the event your government is not in power and the project is completed, there will be a problem with distribution of stores. So we want to find out what measures you have put in place to ensure that there's fair play in distribution of stores at Takrady Market Circle. Then, the issue of Galamsey. Yes, though you said the stability level of water is improving, but there are concerns that some of your DCs, even though there are no concrete evidence to it, but there are concerns that some of your DCs are involved in this Galamsey business.
Mr. Atamensa, you've mentioned that no concrete evidence.
But I want to add,
if it's based on speculation, it is unfair.
The issue is, we want to find out whether you have signed like performance contract with your DCs to ensure that within their jurisdiction, they will reduce the stability level, because even though you said it has improved, but yes, it's not as you are saying. And so if you have signed any contract performance with your DCE to ensure that within your jurisdiction, you reduce the stability level of the water situation. Then my last question is with the Jomoro petroleum hub that you talked about. I think it is quite impressive, but the amount you mentioned, is it 6 billion that you intend to develop and an output of 60 billion? If you can tell us timelines for starting this project, and when you are supposed to complete it, and the jobs, over 600,000 jobs. Mostly Western region, when the oil came, people were hoping the locals will get jobs. But at the end of the day, they are not getting jobs. So if you promise such huge number of jobs coming, how are you going to assure them that definitely the local people will benefit? Thank you.
Thank you, Nana.
Interesting. Honorable Minister, good afternoon. My name is Anabaku from Daily Searchlight. I think the Jomoro petroleum hub has in it a lot of petrochemical industries and projects. One of which was the refinery. I learned there's going to be a second refinery around Takrady and its environs. I don't know what has gone so far. Is it going to be part of this Jomoro petrol hub? And my second question, yes, Takrady and its environs, Western Region for that matter, has become a citadel for illegal mining. It's a worry because where we have Tano, Bia, and Cobra, Pram, and the rest. And I don't know what the measures we are putting in place, fine, is good on paper, but the practicability, because we have a situation where people were sent to go and stop Galamsey, and it doesn't have to be a different story altogether. So how sure are we going to be made that, in fact, this time round, this method is going to work and produce the result that we want from it? My other question is, we know Kwame Nkrumah comes from Western Region, Park Grant comes from Western Region. What are you doing to put up a structure or museum, like we are saying, to boost tourism? Because I learned that even the road to Nkrofo is nothing to map. I don't know for now. And then his tomb too has been tampered with, and even his house has not been properly taken care of. So since these two great personalities of this country, what are you going to do to ensure rehabilitation of their place so that it will draw people to the place for tourism's sake? My last question, what has happened to Takrady, Kumasi, Accra railway lines? You did mention some railway lines because in the years gone by, Takrady to Accra had a very good railway line, and then Takrady to Kumasi to a very good railway line. But in your presentation, you didn't mention them. What is happening to them? Thank you very much.
Thank you for the question. So, John.
Yeah, thank you. My name is John Awuni. I represent Kesben. When you were doing the presentation, you did mention the introduction of the gold catcher machine, which I know Ghana being the signatory to the Minamata Convention, it forbids the use of mercury in mining. But still on the illegal mining business, just as recent as I think 2-3 weeks ago, Dompen PPSA chief made some allegations against your good self, the minister for Western Region, and then the deputy lands minister and the MC for Takwa Swem as people indulging in the Galamsey business. So I haven't heard this. What measures or what did you react to it, and what will you say to Ghanaians, whether indeed the allegations has some iota of truth? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. We'll take the last. Okay. So we invite the Honorable Minister for his responses. But before then, let me remind you that if you are home, you can join us across the country on GTV. In Western Region, we are on Empire FM. We are also on Radio 360, also in Western Region. If you're on Facebook, you can join us at Ministry of Information on Facebook. We are also streaming on Think News Online.
Thank you very much. I can see the questions coming that you are really listening. I'm so grateful. First, Agona Kwanta, Takrady Road. Yes, currently, you know that one side of the project was to do from Takrady to Takwa. That's the main project. There's a contractor working on the Agona Kwanta to the Takwa one. And currently, we are working on the second contractor to come on the Takrady to the Agona Kwanta one. But in the meantime, we have 3 kilometers of this section, which is about 30 kilometers. Very bad, which includes the St. Mary's area, the Ewusejo area, then Mantrak, and then we have a little bit around the 2BN. When you put it together, it's about 3 kilometers. That one has been given to Just More to come and do just repair works so that the road can move in and out smoothly. When it comes to the flooded area, the main problem with that area is engineering. There's flood control engineering that needs to be done. It's going to be part of the main work for the Takrady to Agona Kwanta Road project. And you know that we have some sinks around that used to bring in this water. We had one directly opposite to St. Mary's School, and the one adjacent to the WVLC, the old WVLC. We are lucky the old WVLC area is still open, it's plain, but the connecting gutters into the wind was a problem. So it's all going to be taken care of as part of the engineering to make sure that the water can move to this place. In the meantime, when it flooded, all the smaller culverts that were around St. Mary's, opposite St. Mary's, have all been broken so that whichever water that comes can immediately flow into the sink, which is adjacent to the WVLC. So that's the temporary measure we've done, but the main construction and the proper engineering will be done as part of the road construction from Takrade to Agunankwanta project. The TTU Akateche, we are trying to get somebody, a contractor, to open up the road. But the school can be opened. The school can be opened, yes. But we just have to improve upon the road. But the school can be opened. When it comes to the interchange, I agree with you that we need another interchange around Paipano. The cost for the current project that is being developed, is an EPC, engineering procurement project. So usually it's a contractor that comes with his own estimate. So as and when he works, it is certified and then he's paid. Urban Roads has advised me that they are making some savings, and they hope that they should be able to use part of that savings to do some interchange, not a very sophisticated one, but a very simple one across the Pentecost Church to the other side, so that the traffic can flow at Paipano when they bring a lot of traffic from the main interchange at PTC. So that is what is being worked on now. The Takrade Market Circle Development Redistribution. First and foremost, 2024, we are not losing the election. So I want to assure you with that. But the second part is also that my office as the regional minister, I've requested now storekeepers, let me use the word store owners so that people understand me properly. And then the registration we did it, we categorized the people. Those who are the original store owners, we call them green. So all the cars that are going to be issued to them, they'll be green. And they've brought me a copy of that list. So no matter what happens, as for the original store owners, they will get their shops. Like the chief executive's mother, like my grandmother. You get me? The original people. Then we have another set of people called the yellow. Some of these people, they are not active anymore. So sometimes they've also Nicodemously giving their shops to other people to rent and use them. We call them the yellow. And they are going to get the yellow. So when we do the shops, which is more than the original people, they are the first to be considered. And then we have the red. Those people who are outside the market, we call gate entry. Or those who are in their homes and they might want a shop. That one is very hawkish. That one is purely discretionary, and that is the red. So our first priority is the green. Then we do the discretion with the yellow and then the red. You get me? So that is exactly. So I have taken a copy as the regional minister and kept. So when my predecessor or anybody even succeed me, he's sure he has a copy. So there will not be any conflict in who gets the shop or not. I believe that we have to learn from lessons from other places. And that is the way we have decided to do it in Western Region and Secondary Takrade, to be precise. And then he said some DCs are involved in Galamsey. Like I was coming to say, me myself, they say I'm part. But I want to assure you, I don't believe my DCs are involved. If they are involved and they are caught, they'll be punished. Like myself, if I'm involved and I'm caught, I'll be punished. So please, I believe that the Galamsey is a big issue. And it is multifaceted. I remember I had gone all the way to even the chiefs to tell them that I don't understand why they can sit there and not be in the know of Galamsey activity happening in their backyard. And some of the issues that came up was that they even also don't know who is legal and who is not legal. Because people just come from Accra and say, we have documents to work with. That is why in Kumasi, when I finished the presentation, the president agreed that you allow the chiefs and the DCs to sign. So the DC will not say that I'm not in the know. Two, if we take what we've also done, the Ministry for Lands and Natural Resources, I've come to inaugurate the district mining committees. So with the signature of the DCs, now it gives them a different authority in dealing with the issues of mining in their district. Now they cannot be, witnesses. They are now part of the licensing regime of mining in this country. So it shows that when they move around anywhere, if he doesn't know that he has signed off this one, he can then say this one is illegal, I can deal with it. If he knows that it's legal, he knows how to also deal with it. And I strongly believe that that is why that when we came back, the energy that DCs are getting themselves involved is entirely different. Initially, it was like, oh, it's Minerals Commission that they are doing their business. We are only representing the governments. Whatever they want to do, when they do, we have to support them. Now, they are part. So don't allow people to do the things that they used to do before. So I have the full trust. And I believe that is the reason why we are seeing a lot of the rivers also improving. Yes, you cannot determine turbidity with your naked eyes. It has to be measured. And I've seen even pictures from the tunnel, from the part of Ankobra that have improved. You know, there were times that even Ankobra, the one that you usually see by the roadside, has improved. By the time we get to the back, in part of Jura, you see that it's very turbid. Very, 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 very turbid. So you ask yourself what is really happening. That is why we needed to do the river gas as stationary along the banks of the river, so that everybody will deal with his session. So if I come to your session and it's still brown, you should be able to tell me why it is brown. Whether somebody is doing alluvial mining at the top and is draining the silt into the river, or somebody is really on the river doing mining, which is creating the turbidity. So that's the difference that we are bringing to the table. And I believe that it will work. Initially, our DCs were not directly more involved. They only do just swoops. Once in a while, they organize themselves as MUSEC or MESEC or RESEC. We just go around because we've gotten intelligence. Because if you don't get intelligence, you can't just be walking around. You have to get intelligence, the person willing to show you that this place there is doing galamsey. Then you can go there to go and attack. That's what they used to do. And we're even actually spending government money that we're not getting results. Because you go onto the river, you can't swim than them. They swim more. They run away. Then you come back. You go back. They run away. I mean, we're just doing this for some time. So one day, when we held the meeting, we just took a decision that we won't do swoops again. We'll get proper intelligence and arrest people. And we are getting results. Just about 2 months ago, dumping, for instance, arrested about 5 people. 4 of them were Evers, one was a Togolese, was sent to court. The same thing, Tano in Memphis West did 1, he did 4, 1 was a Togolese, 3 were Evers. Okay? Because they know how to swim and they know how to work on the rivers. So it makes the work. Now, our positioning is to make sure that we do proper intelligence and arrest. Because if you don't arrest, I tell you, the machines they put on the river, it's just about 2,500 cedis. When you spoil it, they go back within 2 weeks. They'll get somebody to sponsor them and put another one on the river. And we are not solving the problem. So this time we have changed our modus Friday, and we believe that we should be able to do and get and have the impact that we are expecting to have. And I'm seeing a lot of the pictures they are sending me. And I've also started asking them to also do some more of communication. Whatever they do, they should let the public know what they are doing. And they've also formed community task forces. It's not just a task force at the district level. If you come to Memphis East, he has a task force. Recently, I just asked him to do some work at Durampo. And he said, Honorable, after Durampo, there's nobody there. But the people, they are here, and I went to arrest them a day before. You get it? So now we are using more intelligence and then positioning such that we want to arrest. You see, if you don't arrest the people doing the galamsey, you are only wasting your time. You just make noise, go with the police, they run away, go back. I mean, we're just moving around and doing merry-go-round. And we are moving away from that kind of operation. And then you know that there are about 4 different levels of operations that happens. So I wonder how a DC can even get involved. Because me, when I'm coming to do my operation as regional minister, I don't tell them. In the same way, when he's also doing his operation, he doesn't tell anybody. The same way, the police, the IGP has a 100-man team that also does anti-galamsey. They don't go and consult the DC before they do their operation. And then when the army is coming as Operation Hot, they don't consult me. I do my work differently. They do their work differently. So if you are doing galamsey, you should know that one day, one of the teams will definitely catch up with you. But like police work, we need the intelligence. if a chief accuses me that I'm doing galamsey, and the chief himself have not come to tell me that, oh, this area of the forest, they are people, they go and arrest them. I believe that, and it comes out and make a lot of unnecessary noise, you should know that it's a big scam. That's the way I see it. It's a very big scam. And if you listen to the tape that has backed those, their scam, in the tape, they've said it in the tape, that they were doing galamsey and have come to destroy their equipment in the dumping forest. It's in the tape. So I wonder how media people will listen to such full tape, know that the people are galamseyers and their machines have been destroyed, and then they turn and accuse a minister, and then the media house believe them. In fact, I ask myself, what kind of media are we doing here? Is the media supporting the galamsey people or what? When we go in and go and destroy excavators, people complain. Why are you destroying excavators? Meanwhile, you turn around and say there are big men behind galamsey. But it's not the big men who are buying the excavators. So if you are destroying the excavators, it's not the big men you are destroying. So why should the media be supporting people whose equipment are in the system, destroying lands of this country? And they think that is fine. If government needs excavators, government will buy excavators to do their work. Those who are buying excavators to do galamsey, I believe that Ghanaians have to support us to destroy it. Because if you are saying big men are behind galamsey, then big men are buying excavators. So let's buy the excavators so that they don't destroy our forests. And we need the media in your conscience to support government to destroy these excavators that are destroying our lands. Otherwise, then you are supporting the galamseyers. You are not supporting. Maybe that's why you are interested in the scam that people always throw out. But otherwise, I believe that the media need to support government fully to destroy this heavy equipment that are destroying our lands. That's the position the media should take. That's the position. Sometimes somebody will tell you, I didn't know that they've rented my excavator to a galamsey site. When people are paying you premium for excavator, when you know the rate in the market, please don't deceive anybody. Don't deceive anybody. So those, and like the chief was saying, when he said all those things on radio, look at his subsequent interviews. The last one I heard he did with Captain Smart. He said, well, as for the original Mr. Jan, no crony or secondary. So technically, he's even telling me that I'm not part of it. But Minister is a big man, so when somebody throws dirt at him, everybody wants to go for his skin. But I want to assure Ghanaians and the people of Western Region, I won't get involved in this business of galamsey, because I do believe that mining, if it has to be done, it has to be done properly. It has to be done properly. And it can be done properly. Because if you take the number of people in Ghana who are linked to mining in Ghana, it's about 5 million people. And large scale only takes care of only 30,000. When it comes to 1 million direct, it's small scale. So we need to do it well so that we don't destroy the environment and also don't destroy their livelihoods. And I believe that that's why government has also brought up a lot of programs that the youth can join and become part of it, like the community mining system, like the National Alternative Employment and Livelihood Program. These are beautiful programs that also comes with mining as part of it, and other alternative livelihood programs that I believe that they can do. So please, I want to assure Ghanaians that if I get any of my DCE involved, I won't blink an eye in recommending him for sacking. And if the president also sees that I'm doing it, he should sack me. I believe the right thing has to be done, and the right thing can always be done. Petroleum hub. Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you that sometimes when the jobs come, maybe people in Western Region don't get some. Yes, I agree with you, but I also want you to appreciate that there's something I always call productive asset. And nobody has advocated for petroleum jobs more than me. You know, I moved the motion for the 10% in Parliament. I also moved for the motion of GMPC headquarters. I also moved for the motion of the Petroleum Commission headquarters. So we understand these things, but you cannot get everything, because the petroleum in Western Region belongs to the whole of Ghana. In the same way, when you get a veteran training as a medical doctor, we don't post him only to Volta region. You post him because Ghana is a unitary state. It's Ghana as a whole. But I believe that with the petroleum hub, what we have been able to agree with the managers is that they should provide us with every skill set they require us to have as Western region, so we can train our children ahead of time, so that they can meet the demand they are looking for. And they have agreed. So they will start doing that. And we are starting from Nzema, and they will be doing it at Takrady. So we start training, because after the 680,000, there's no way we'll get it in Nzema alone. You should know it. She gets it all over. But at least we should be such that when it gets to the crunch, we will be inviting people that So I think that that's the new strategy. We want to do something different from what we did with the original oil and gas project. So basically that's what we are doing. And the project, in terms of investment that is required, is 6 billion. Like you asked, and we are expected to generate about 60 billion from it. And I've told you the main issues and then the ancillary issues that need to be done to invested in. You asked also of the refinery. Yes, there's a refinery in Jomro which is going to be part of the petroleum hub. But originally under President Kufuor, there was supposed to be some refineries around the Takrady area. So far, they have not seen the light of day, but I believe that nobody has stopped them. Sometimes it's the process that some people get caught up in it, yes. But that one has not been abandoned. You asked me our solution, how it will work. I believe that my first answers should be able to do that. And then you also asked, Uncle John asked about Takrady to Kumasi rail line. Yes, the railway line, is like a shape. It starts from Takrady to Kumasi, and there's a branch to Awaso, and then the one to Kumasi, there's a central line, and then the one from Kumasi also to the eastern line, which comes to Tama, or Accra to Tama. What we are currently doing is the Takrady to Kumasi line. So one part is the one from Takrady to Pristia, Uni Valley, and it continues to Kumasi. So there's another contractor who has been contracted to do from Kumasi to Dunkwao to Uni Valley. So that is also being tackled. I went to school for 4 years with a train. I get in the evening, in the morning, 8 o'clock, I'm in Kumasi, I go to school. 4 years when I was at Tech. So that's what we are trying to do. And we are building more railway lines under Nanado than any other government. The last one that I checked was only 15 kilometers, and that was between Takrady to Kojokrom. And that is the suburban railway line. That is not even part of the Western Railway Line. The Western Railway Line starts from Kojokrom to Kumasi. And we have done first 22 in 4 years, and we are adding another 78 in the next 3 years. And we want to finish from Takrady to Insuta, which has the manganese, in the next 12 months by July, so that we can start hauling the manganese and making money. That's the most important thing to me. So we can start using some of the money to pay for even the project even before it's fully completed. So that's the strategy to get to that. I believe that the dumping issue have responded, because the dumping issue also has its own Takwa politics. It's a Takwa politics thing. And then dumping proper chieftains and politicians, and they are bringing it to me indirectly. But it won't wash. It won't wash. I mean, this is a scam. I mean, that's the way I even see it. This is a scam. Okay. So I believe that answers a lot of the question. First set. So I can take another set, and I can.
So please, we'll take the last set of questions, or if you have a follow-up question, but if I see some new hands, Opoku, okay, I'll take the two at the back, and then I'll come to you for follow-up questions. But before then, please, I would like to acknowledge the Deputy CEO of the National Lotteries Authority, Madame Homa Meza. She joined us in course of briefing, and I would like to acknowledge her. So please proceed with the questions.
All right. Thank you very much. My name is Obed King Aglu. I report for GH1 TV. Humbly, Minister, some weeks ago, you responded to a widely circulated publication in the media pointing to the fact that supposedly your driver bolted away with some amount of money to neighboring Kodifa. I want, since you are here, we care about you, and so we want to be very sure if really this didn't happen. Thank you very much.
Obed. Okay, thank you for the question.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Pastor Femi Opoku, me free Kingdom FM. Pastor, my question, first one, board down to Minister Kasana Okase, Minister, the media, and support you or more with the burning of the excavators. But my question to the minister is, you supporting government to burn the excavators. Any HH or more sites, no? Is it the best way to go? So she excavator ne watch your more sites. Not the big man now which in auto excavator no. And I say all sponsor almost a month after one. I feel say it cost 90 job. So maybe some minister say I didn't know consider going after these big men. Then some more catch media say and support some to bend the excavators rather. That's my first question. And my second question has to do with Okasa one kind anything about security do, but maybe some didn't call. You know, regional has Omenya Dinka cry for kidnapping issues in the past. You see, Busa Minister, a DNA reasoning here as a more intelligence, say, among for targeting region purposely for kidnapping stuff and as a alleged kidnapping issues. And again, almost some way to help fight this kidnapping going forward. Say, and better say, a champion Western region, yes, I'm going to kidnap you. And my last question, Minister Kasanoka, tankers, I'm not so sure, to deal with sanitation issues. But me, again, how are they going to go about this issue as well?
Thank you, Opoku. I saw some two hands here. Okay, so.
Yes, sir. Just a follow up with the petroleum hub. Where is the funds coming from? That's $6 billion. Where is it coming from? And when is this project starting? Then this €3 million Palermo Security Sister City relationship. You not tell us the project that Security is benefit from this Palermo and Security relationship. Some of the projects that have been embarked upon, if you can tell us. Then if you can even help other sister cities to also get this relationship, it will help. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so with regards to the Takrade Agna route, I would like the minister to give some timelines, if that's possible. And then also, Minister, the people of Otopo, Butre, and Akida, they would like to know when a contractor is returning to site to complete their route. And the Aguna is also saying there is a youth center that has been completed, but it's not in use. So if you can open that for them to use. Thank you.
Aguna,
Yes.
youth center. Okay. Okay.
Yes, Honorable, one of my questions was not answered. I asked about what are you doing about Park Grant and Park Kwame Nkrumah to boost tourism, because it looks as if I watched a documentary and Park Grant's house has been left to the latch. I don't know if that cannot be brought on board, as it were, to boost tourism, because they are two great men from the region and for this country.
Okay, I take that to be the last question. So we will invite the Honorable Minister back for his responses and also his final remarks.
Minister's driver has both. I hardly do this, but for the sake of you, I'll do it. Because I don't believe in rejoinders. I believe in court. It's not true. My driver never bolted with any money of mine. No money of mine has missing. I've never sent anybody to go and collect monies from Galamsey site. 70 million cry. Ever call 40-footer container. I mean, sometimes. Why do you believe this comes? Why? And I've said it, that in that same tape, the guy said that his machines at the Galamsey site have gone to destroy them. The tape backing this. And maybe after you finish, you'll get, if you don't have a copy of that tape, you have it. But the people who did that on their media platform, I believe, knew what they were doing, because they knew what they were doing was entirely wrong. Tarnishing my image for the wrong reasons, I disagree with them. On that same day, when I heard the story, I didn't even know. What had happened was that their Inwando had incited people to attach my picture to that and being circulated. And the reply was on their own platform. They didn't disclaim it. And that energized people to share the Inwando with my picture all over the place. It was the first DSP speaker who called my attention to the matter and said, hey, that's what you are ready, or no one you are ready, and the Casa immediately no one said, here. Okay? Then Obi Amwa, Obi Osebunsu, came in and said, oh, I've also seen this with your name and the Nwando from EIB. What's happening? And he's a Takrady boy. So when I started mentioning the names of my drivers and all the people around me, he knew all of them. He said, but these people, we know them. So how come? But this complete lie, somebody just sat in his room and did this. And like I've told you, it's the Takwa people. That's what they've been doing to Honorable Duka. Always put some pressure on him as if he's a bad person. And that's what they've been doing. So they mix it with the toxic of their own dumping problems. And they send it to Takrady. But I want to tell them, after Takrady, they won't get there. We'll send it back to the sender. Yes. Send it back to the sender. So, I want to assure you, I have never been involved in Galamsey. I will never be involved. I've never asked anybody to go and collect any money from Galamsey people. And 17 million Ghana cedis. I want to see whether it will even fit into a Land Cruiser. It will not. Even 20-footer container, it will not. Maybe we take Ghana cedi too cheap. Maybe that's why some of you are speculating and changing them into dollars. But that is big money. Okay? So it's not true. It's not true. And like you said, because we love you, I don't think so. You just want to make news for your newspapers. Yeah. Kidnapping issues. I want to tell you something. There was no kidnapping happening in the Western region. It was in the minds of people, and they wanted to disgrace our city. All of them were fake. Even the last one, a guy meets a girl in Impoho. Send the girl to a bar, do some show, and the girl promises that Sunday they'll meet again. They never meet. Monday morning, he says the girl has been kidnapped. And then we get media people. Media people. They don't even cross-check one bit. And then they put it out there that people are kidnapping in Takrady. Is it fair to us? It's not. There's no kidnapping happening in Western region. So, Christmas, make sure you're in Tadi to enjoy with us. There's no kidnapping. I think that one of the beautiful questions I've been asked is about the e-tankers. The e-tankers is basically trying to revisit the old town council inspections that we used to have in our homes. When we were kids, when they say the tankers man or town council man is coming to your home, I bet you make sure the place is very, very clean. But we are in the E-era now. So we are moving that whole concept into an E-era, where we are using mobile devices, we are using web application, Internet of Things to do it. Now, this is how it works. The first thing is that people still don't keep their homes and their surroundings neat. We also have contractors who have business to do with us who don't do it. They're supposed to pick our rubbish, and then they don't do it. When it's Tuesday that they are supposed to do it, they don't do it. Sometimes they wait until like Friday or even the next week. Meanwhile, when they bill us for the work they've done. And there are people who also litter indiscriminately all over the place. So these are the people we are targeting. But at the core of it are two systems. One is open to the public, where if, for instance, somebody litters, ordinary person can take him a picture and then bill him. Because all the assemblies have a fee-fixing resolution as to how much you pay for littering, how much you don't take your waste away. You know all those fee-fixes. So we are going to put them in. And then we will do spot fine. If you don't pay the spot fine, then the sub-metropolitan council, which is not the head office, the sub one or the sub-town councils, will then take you on and take you to court. Okay, so that is one side. The other one is the one that is going to basically be operated by the unit committees. So when the unit committees do their rounds in the community and you have not tidied up your house or your back house or the gutter in front of you, they can also do same to bill you. That one too, when you don't pay the spot fine, which is e-payment, the issue is referred to the sub-metropolitan council. And then what will happen is that if the supervisor, the environmental supervisor at the sub-metropolitan council, by sitting at his desk, can see all those unit committee members who are not doing the rounds, because they'll see from their computer based on the location data that will be provided. They'll see that you are not actually doing the house-to-house to check whatever. Then they can know that you are not working. They can give the job to somebody else. So it's a way to monitor those who are doing the work. It's a way to also monitor at the sub-metropolitan level, and it's a way to monitor at the metropolitan level itself. So that's how the e-tankers system works. So it's basically we want people to pay for their indiscipline when it comes to sanitation. And if you're able to get the sanitation right, people coming to visit us will know why they are coming. I mean, we travel to UK, US, Dubai, because the place is neat, or the place is fine. Let me put it that way. And we want to bring that same thing home. Like we've said, we want to be the number one tourism destination in Ghana. And we are on track in doing that. The petroleum hub, investment is by the private sector. So that's why when I was speaking, I kept hammering that, come and invest, come and invest. Come. It's private sector investment. Government will manage it like the way we manage TDC. You know, TDC, part of the lands from TMA was taken from them, and it's managed by TDC, like landlord. And then people come and put in the investment, because there's a law that will guide whichever investment that come in. The Aguna Road, it will be started this year. And then all the patches, we'll try and finish them this year. All the patches. And the Opoto Akweda Road, I've told you my problem with the contractors. I've told you my problem because all the contractors, they came to bid with supporting documents from their banks. Yes. In fact, as I speak with you, I've issued about 4 letters to the Minister for Roads and Highway to terminate some contracts in the Western region. Bogoso to Bogoso Junction. No, Bogoso to Pristia Road. And then the upper part of the Upon Valley Road. Other contractors, I've notified them that I'm coming on them, because that's one side. Otherwise, if the contractor can't do the work, they should write us a letter that we can't do the work, so we can give the contract to somebody else. Other contractors, I've notified them already that we are coming. We are coming because we cannot be giving contracts to you for you not to perform. If you don't have money, don't go and take the contract. I mean, that's my position on this matter. It's not whether government is paying you or not, because if government don't pay, you have a right to take interest on delayed payment. It's like treasury bill. When you buy government treasury bill, they give you your money back and then they add your interest, isn't it? So government acknowledge that also in its own contract when they give road contract. So generally, this is the kind of debate I want us to be doing in this country. If you're a contractor and you can't do it, don't go for it. This business of people going for it and behaving as if government owes them, so government hasn't paid. So just because they've generated one interim certificate, government hasn't paid, government should be held liable. I disagree. If you can't do the work, don't go for it. If you go for it and you can't continue, write a letter, I can't continue. government take your work and give to somebody who is ready to do it. Because government has always said it's ready to pay interest on delayed payment, as we do with treasury. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So that's it. And then park grants and Nkrumah rehabilitation. Yes, I agree with you. The road to Kwame Nkrumah's hometown, which is in Nkrofo, we have done it. We've done asphalt. The road to Park Grant's hometown, Axim, we have done asphalt. I know that we might have to take a firm decision whether we want to pick their houses as heritage sites. And the families will have to maybe write to us that government take over and do it. Otherwise, maybe the families will have to do their own foundations and then redo these things very well and then use it to collect money because people want to learn from them. At the regional level, we have instituted an award, the Park Grant Medal for Business Excellence. And we've been celebrating every 4th August in Park Grant's name in the Western region. Because he is a businessman. And if you are talking about founding fathers that have put their money for the independence struggle of this country, it is Park Grant. The other one is in Central Region, Jacob Sensei, who would put up his money to save all the lands we have in Ghana for all the chiefs and people of Ghana. That's why we have the Victoria Parks all over. It was to say thank you to Queen Victoria for accepting Jacob Sensei's plea not to annex Ghana lands that they did in Zimbabwe. That's why we have the Victoria Parks to say thank you to the British Queen. So these are the two people for us. We want to celebrate them because businesses, as you know, create the wealth that we tax as government to do all the goods and services that we do in this country. So we believe that once in a while we also have to raise business people, not only maybe we the public servants all the time. So I think when it comes to Kwame Nkrumah, at least the mausoleum is being renovated with a lot of money. Maybe we'll discuss with the minister to see how he can do a smaller investment, maybe in Nkrofo, or even the government building he used to stay in Hafasnin. You know, Kwame Nkrumah actually lived in Hafasnin, even though he comes from Nkrofo, because that's where his father used to be. So maybe we might have to look at these things. But I know that under the previous Minister for Tourism, the Park Grant House in Axim was penciled for the World Bank project, but it's coming one after the other. Water Regional did the canopy walkway. Other regions are doing different things. So we look at it with Minister, because our original priority was the Center for National Culture, which was never completed. We want it to be completed so that it can be useful, and then we can move on to other projects. Yes, the community youth center, we'll look at it immediately when we get back to Western Region and get it opened. Yes. Yes, the Palermo one, they are doing a few things. One of the key things is the greenhouse project. They want to do urban gardening, so they want to start with the greenhouse. They've already set up the greenhouse, and they are training people to be able to do urban gardening. The other one has to do with climate change, and they are building a school around the STMA warehouse, a training school, to train people in all the climate mitigation measures. Because, I mean, going forward, we all know that. Yes, and then skills training for the youth. So these are some of the things that they are doing, because we are trying as much as possible to mainstream the youth throughout the SDGs. And these are some of the projects that they are doing. You know, now our three key pillars we talked about. The first one was the entrepreneurial governance system. So in my region, we get the media to get involved with some of the things we do. We get the chiefs to get involved with some of the things we do. Our idea of the entrepreneurial governance is to bring every quality mind that want to help the region develop. And then the Enterprise Western Region is to raise our own captains of industry in the region, and then mainstreaming the youth throughout the SDG. Everybody knows the SDG from 1 to 17. Unfortunately, whilst we talk about women and children, there was nothing about the youth. Meanwhile, if we are looking to ensure that the youth bulge doesn't become a problem, we have to find a new way of getting them involved in the development of Western Region. That's why our third pillar is mainstreaming the youth throughout the SDGs. So that's what we're trying to do. So I believe that this answers all your questions. Thank you very much, and may God bless us all.
Honorable Minister, distinguished invited guests, the press, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of my boss, Honorable Kojo Oponkroma, management and staff here at the Ministry of Information, we want to thank you for making time for this very important exercise. It is our hope that subsequent years we will be able to come to your regions and hold proper town halls and get more community participation so that they will know what government is actually doing on the ground. So as you travel back to Takrady or wherever your final destination may be, we say that Aiko, we thank you and may God be with you. Good afternoon.
Normalmente 28 in the new year, what I did, I bet 28.